The Lord is still going to give us a word today. Right now we're in a series that we're talking about. It's called Get Over It, the thing that's behind me. Actually, this window is going to work out perfect. I can see all my notes in this window. So it's called Get Over It. And get over it in the sense of, how do I get over something? Anybody ever been told to get over it? Like, hey, you should get over it. And you'd be like, okay. You get over it in that moment, but getting over it is just like sweeping it to the side, basically. Getting over it is not getting through it, conquering it. Getting over it is just moving whatever that is to the side. But this series, we want to teach people how to get over it. Amen? So today, we did last week called Get Over Your Past, which I truly enjoyed. And today's going to be part 2 of that. And it's going to be called Get Over the Process. Get over the process. And if you got notes, write down Get Over the Process. If you don't got notes, get you some notes and write Get Over the Process. The reason why we tell people to take notes is because later on in life, you may be going through something, and these moments that you write down certain things will help you out later on. So that's why we encourage people to take notes. But we're going to go to Isaiah 43, chapter 43, Isaiah chapter 43, verse 18. We're going to start there. When you got to say, I got it. Everybody don't got it. I know y'all nervous. Do I got to do it in that note? I got to do it in that key. When you get to say, I got it. You got it? I knew you had it. Emily Square, you got it? You getting it. Isaiah 43. I got it. My mans. You got it. Old school. Come on with the Bible. Cool. So Isaiah 43, starting with verse 18. And the word of God says, forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. 19. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. And that's where we're going to stop at. Forget the former things. And do not dwell on the past. But see, I am doing a new thing. How many people want to see God do something new in their life? Anybody want to see God do something new? You feel like, Lord, you've been doing the same old thing. He really hasn't. But you're like, Lord, I just want to see something new. So that's what we're going to talk about today. This part 3 of the series is part 2 of Get Over Your Past. But this is important because, we talked about getting over yourself, getting over your past. But it all takes a process. It's all a process. You need to go through a process in order to get over yourself, get over your past, and get over the process. So often processes are used in repetition. But in order to get over something, you must enter into a process, because in the process, something is being formed and birthed within you that no one can abolish except for you. There's something being birthed inside of you that God is forming and taking his time with that only you can mess up. Only you can. Nobody else can harm or hinder what God is putting inside of you, the promise that he's putting inside of you. Only you can mess it up by not going fully through the process. And that is often what happens, when we are the ones that cannot stick out the process and change. And as a result, we fall back into the past over and over again. Anybody ever try something new, like a New Year's resolution? Thank the Lord for New Year's resolutions, because they're not real. New Year's resolutions are so funny because you start going through the process of getting fit, getting your fit on. And then you get midway through just the month of January, not through the year. Just midway through the month of January, you're like, man, my back hurt, I'm sore. And he'd be like, I'm going to take today off. And then the next day, he'd be like, man, my legs hurt. I think I'm going to take the day off. And then down in November, you realize you've took so many days off. You're like, what happened to getting fit? You got a little tummy now. So all these simple things, just to be funny, but like, it's so easy for us to get inside of a process and forget to see it all the way through. And then we end up back at square one. Like forgiveness. We try to get in the process of forgiving people, but we still don't forgive them. Because what we start to remember that joke I did 2 weeks ago? Do you remember the time when you fell in love? From Michael Jackson? Yeah, we end up remembering. And he'd be like, wait a minute. I think I still like them. I'm still mad at them. You're supposed to be forgiving them, but you're still mad at them because you can't go through the process fully. One thing that I hear people say all the time is trust the process. Trust the process. But I want to tell y'all, don't confuse trusting the process with holding the past. Don't confuse trusting the process with holding the past. Because if you're going to trust the process, it requires you to let go of something. This whole series called Get Over It. So this logo, come on, Bessie. So this logo, everybody, if y'all know, if y'all in fashion, this is the same logo as Off-White, right? Off-White foot brand, all that stuff. It's got 2 arrows going up and 2 arrows going down. You can't get over anything, getting over it, rising above, if you don't let go of something. That's why we chose it. You can't get over fear if you don't let fear go. You can't get over heartbreak if you don't let heartbreak go. You can't get over your past if you don't let your past go. But a lot of us hold on to those things because it's our fuel. You know, a lot of people say that, oh, you should use, what happened to you as your fuel. Let it anger you, let it fuel you. That's not true. You don't need that. You need peace. You've been angry for so long. Why include more anger to help fuel not being angry? You're contradicting yourself by letting what you're supposed to be letting go fuel you. Amen? So the process was never meant to be stayed in. Write that down. The process was never meant to be stayed in. It was meant to be moved through. It was never meant to be stayed in. It was meant to be moved through. A lot of us are in the middle of a process of growth, and we stop moving through the process and made the process a destination instead of a vehicle. We were just supposed to ride the process, not stay there. A lot of us get in the middle of something, like I said, those New Year's resolutions, we get right in the middle of them and we stay there. We don't grow anywhere outside of those things. I'm not supposed to be setting up shop in the process. Caterpillars don't stay inside the cocoon. And it's cozy. A cocoon is cozy. They in there getting their wings, getting all prettied up, becoming a butterfly. But the reality is that process was never meant to be their destination. That process was meant to make them into the outcome. It was just a vehicle. It was just the car they were in at that time. But once they have driven it enough, formed enough inside of it, now it's time for them to get out. And some of us have gotten in the process and we don't know how to get out. We just going through the motions. That's what it is. We go through the motions in a lot of things. We go through the motions when it comes to trials and tribulations. We often try to figure out, how can I just get past this? How can I just get over it? When we really should be learning from it, learning what we're going through, and then coming out of it. Some of us just skate through it because we don't want to deal with it. Let me just get over this. Let me get over fear so I can handle this moment. So, key example, I'm not a big fan of roller coasters. I'm dead serious. Something about them roller coasters is rough. Like, I know people be like, oh man, I love roller coasters. I just don't like my head flying around and jumping around and doing all this stuff. My neck hurt just from doing that. But I say to myself before I get on everything, okay, I'm going to just get over my fear so I can get on this ride and get over it and then be done. I'm going to psych myself out. I'm going to psych myself out so that I can get over this fear to get on this roller coaster. And why am I really doing it? This is me for real. Because I don't want nobody to talk about me. I don't want nobody to call me scared. I don't want nobody to see me as weak. But I'm going to go get on this roller coaster that might not work that well. I'm just going to get on it. Because I don't want nobody to see my weakness. How many of us feel like that? We psych ourselves up to do something. And then we still are fearful after we get off of it. I'm still scared of roller coasters. Getting on it didn't make me unfearful of it. I just got on it to please somebody else, not myself. If I was going to please myself, I'd have been like, hey, brother, I don't ride roller coasters. Oh, you a fraidy cat? Meow. I don't ride roller coasters. I just don't do it. But because of judgment, I put myself in a situation that I didn't have to put myself in. And a lot of us are putting ourselves in situations that we don't have to put ourselves in because of judgment. We're afraid of what people might say. We're afraid that if we get off our phones for like a little bit, we go on a social media hiatus, what will people say? What will people say about that? Because I don't look at my phone that much. What, you too big for Instagram? No. I'm trying to go through a process of learning how to love myself. Because every time I get on Instagram, I see somebody I'm trying to be, and that's not me. I'm trying to mirror my life according to someone else whose life actually may be broken. A lot of us follow a lot of people who in reality, that's not them. They just kind of living their life. Oh, having a good time. They're not having a good time. They struggling just like you struggling. They hurting just like you hurting. They trying to find out who they are just like you trying to find out who you are. But we allow judgment to make us do stuff that we don't want to do. We do. And that's what we got to get over. The process is you recognizing that you're fearful of something. Not the process of pleasing somebody. The process is realizing that you're fearful of something. Something inside of you becomes frightened when you are addressed with whatever that thing is. Mine was a roller coaster. Some of y'all's is some major stuff. Depression, anxiety, anger, fear. That's some of you guys' roller coasters. But you have to address it. And address it for you, not for anybody else. Not anybody else saying like, yo, you got anger management problems. No. Let me figure it out. Don't do it for them. Do it for you. Because some of us will get caught in the process of doing stuff for other people, like I said. So I'm not supposed to be sitting here in fear. I'm supposed to be running toward courage. That's what you have to do when you're faced with that. Like, I'm not supposed to be sitting here being afraid. I'm supposed to be running towards courage. So the one thing I want y'all to write down is this is not the promise. This is just the process. The process is usually not fun. It's usually not a good time. No, not that point. Actually, you didn't see that. But literally, whatever you're going through is not the promise. It's the process. How many of y'all are going through something right now? It don't gotta be nothing huge. Just something like, I'm going through a little tizzy right now. Something getting on my nerve. Yeah, keep it real. A lot of us are going through something. It's not the promise. It's not what God has intended for you. It's just setting you up so you can get to the promise. Don't mistake the promise with the process. What I'm going through is the process. What I'm going to be is the promise. All right? Don't mistake it. Because once you mistake it as the process, as the promise, like, well, I guess I'm just going to be in this constant loop of not knowing what's going on. That's what it is when you're in the process. You're going through stuff. But when you get out on the other side and you realize that that was the process, you now realize, wow, I'm living in the promise now. Because everything is working out for my good because I went through it. And now that I'm through it, I'm okay. I learned something. I grew. But you can't learn that if you don't go through the process. Check this out. We are trying to get somewhere new without getting rid of something old. We're trying to get somewhere new without giving up something old. And the end result of any process is to come out new or different than how you entered. I didn't count that off right. Check this out. So right here is the process. These cones. This is how the process is supposed to be. Figuring it out. I have to figure out my footing, because if I don't figure out my footing, I may hit and stumble. But that's okay. I can get back up. A lot of us get to like the midway point of this process, and we don't know how to get out. Because we feel like going from cone 1 and cone 2 was so hard. I don't know if I can handle cone 2, cone 3, and 4. Anybody ever felt like that? I don't know if I can handle what else is on the other side of this. I'm right here standing in the middle of this storm, and I don't know if I want to find out how the rest of the storm goes. So often we get caught right here in the process. But worse, when we're trying to do something new, getting rid of something old has to be required. Now, I got this backpack on, right? I'm going through a process, and it's making the process harder. What happens when the process is real tight? I'm trying to get through this stuff with extra baggage on that I probably should have never had. Some of y'all are in the middle of a process hanging on to something that you were supposed to let go from the first process. We carry so much more weight. If I'm trying to get to peace, I probably should have gave anger up in the last process, right? If I'm trying to get to not being depressed every morning, I probably should have left some form of that depression back here, right? So why do we carry extra weight through the process? And then we wonder, why do I feel so heavy right here that I can't get to cone 3 and 4? Because you still got something on you that you should have left before you step into the new process. The end result of it is that you should be new, not worse. You should not start a process and end up worse than what you started. That means you got here and started right back. Because you didn't trust what was going to be at the end. You didn't trust that the promise was going to be there. You saw the problem. A lot of us we're so close to the end, and usually the end is the worst part. The end of the process is the worst part, because you got to sacrifice whatever you had throughout them first 3 cones. When you get to this last one, you got to make a decision of, am I going to be free in this next season? Am I going to let go of some stuff? Or am I going to hold on to it a little bit? But like, my self-pity keeps me warm, and I want it to keep me warm through the next process, so I might take it with me. My anxiety people give me attention because I got anxiety, and I tell them like I'm freaking out, and they comfort me, so I don't want to leave that. I'll take something else out. Lord, I'll take fear. I'll leave fear in this process, but I got to take my anxiety with me. I got to take it with me because people treat me different when they know I'm anxious. All right, Lord, you want me to get to the promise? I'll leave I'll leave trust. No, I might need trust. But trust in God or trust in people. I don't know which one I'm leaving. I'm gonna leave trust in people here, and I'm gonna trust you. What happens if somebody breaks my heart? Then I don't want to trust people. You see how you never get to the rest of the end of the process because you're too busy trying to figure out what should I take in my bag and what should I leave. All of us are carrying a bag that we should have let go before we started the next process. We should have. But the best part about God is that once you give something to him, he burns it. And you can't pick it back up. He throws all things in the lake of fire, the Bible says, in the sea of forgetfulness. If you want to truly be forgiven, give it to God. If you really want something to be consumed and like taken away, give it to Jesus. Because it's going to be hard, each process. Each process is going to be tough. The more that you carry this stuff that you're not willing to give away, you're not going to make it to here. You'll be starting and stopping all the way. Because the first two parts are always the easiest. Oh, I want to be healthier. I'm a start by eating something healthy now. I'm going to eat celery. I'm going to try celery out with a little bit of peanut butter. That's what I'm going to do. And then like you in the middle of the process. All right, what about losing weight? Why did I choose to lose weight? Why did I choose to like start being healthier? Because like I really like chicken. I really like a lot of chicken. But can I eat less chicken? No, like what if I eat grilled chicken? Nah, I really don't like grilled chicken. What if I eat, but fried chicken is so good. And now I'm so far away from the process that I'm nowhere near it. I started off here, y'all. I was like, eat celery. And then I started contradicting and not trusting the process. Identity. I don't want to be this person I was anymore. I'm going to delete some friends. I'm going to delete some numbers. But man, it's kind of lonely right here. And I'm trying to leave those friends and find my new identity, but like at least when I was with these friends, they were hard. They were, they talked about me and throw lies on me, but like I had friends. But no, I don't want to be with them anymore. But what if I don't get new friends when I leave these ones? Y'all see the process? Because we all have been there. We all have been right here in the middle, trying to figure out how do I get from the start to the finish. And we end up living in limbo, right in the middle of a process, and we never reach the promise. But I don't want that to be y'all. I don't want y'all to live in a process when you could be living in the promise. Imagine if Moses Moses didn't get to the promised land, actually. He got to look at it. The Lord was like, you can take a peek, but because you were disobedient, you can't go. And that man had to die after he led people out of bondage. He led people from a process, but he couldn't finish his because of disobedience. He was so angry with the people of Israel. He was like, oh, y'all getting on my nerves. He struck a rock. Some water came out. I'm giving y'all the very watered down version. He struck a rock, gave water because they was thirsty. He's like, boom, y'all getting on my nerves. Pow. And the Lord was like, did I tell you to do that? And as a result, he never got to hear. Lived a great life. He never got to the promised land which he was supposed to deliver people into. I don't want that to be y'all. We are trying to go through the process of growth while holding on to something that we should have let go before this moment in time. Some are trying to get over a bad breakup. And I want to talk about this because for some reason this dropped in my spirit. Some people are trying to get over a bad breakup. It don't got to be a relationship. It don't got to be like a romantic relationship. That could be a friendship. Relationship is relationship. Some people are going through a bad breakup, and you are moving through the process still thinking about how much you missed that person. And that's keeping you from going through the process and coming out new. We can all think about somebody in our past life or in our right now life, or, well, bad breakup, they probably gone now. We can all think about that person. Like, man, they really hurt my heart. I got to get over them. Man, I miss their smile. I miss how they used to greet. They used to send me good morning texts when everything was good. I remember when we used to go out to lunch together. No, they're not good for me. They broke up with me. They left me, and you almost here. And then you're like, but who am I without them? You ever heard anybody say that? When they like in a real deep relationship, who am I without them? I'm nothing without them. They my other half. Let me tell y'all something. You are so much more than another person. I don't care who it is. Your boyfriend is sitting right there. You are more than you are with him. You are a full-blown person. Your husband, my guy, I love Mark, but you are more without him. You're not just living your life with him. I'm more than without my girlfriend. I can talk trash on her because she's not here. No, we got YouTube now. Never mind. I'm gonna save myself. But listen, y'all can't put yourself in a box because of a person. I don't care who they is. Friend, mom, dad. Family is tough. We got family members who are rough to be around. And we find our identity in them because we've been around them so long. But that's another message for another day. I want to talk about these friends. I just did a study about Job. Y'all know Job in the Bible? Y'all probably heard it this way. The first 2 chapters talk about how he had a bunch of property. His family was great. He was super rich. Then God swept all that away because, between God and Satan, they were like, hey, have you ever considered my servant Job? Job is awesome. He's super grateful and all this and the third. First 2 chapters, Job was still cool. Lord took away his kids, like killed his kids, and he was like, the Lord taketh and he giveth and taketh. He was all about it. Lord took his land and his house. He's like, naked I came to the world, naked I shall leave, all that stuff. That was chapters 1 and 2. The chapter is 42 chapters long. I have only heard it preached, and you're going to laugh. I've only heard it preached like, chapter 1 and 2. Oh, Job was grateful, grateful, grateful. And I think these jokers skipped all the way to chapter 42 and talked about how the Lord renewed his land and renewed his family. They skipped all them other chapters about Job complaining. They skipped all them chapters about Job complaining. Job was so messed up. He was saying, I cursed the day I was born. That's suicidal talk. I wish they would have killed me in my mother's womb. That's suicidal talk, right? Here's why he got to that point. After Job had all that stuff happen to him, he had 3 dudes come over his house. 3 friends. Bildad and 2 other people I can't remember their names, but they were there. 3 dudes came over to comfort him. And this is what they did. When they got there and they saw Job, they began to weep. They were like, man, you don't even look recognizable. These are his friends. Bro, you look bad. This is when they first get there. Not like, hey, hello, how you doing? They was like, hey, brother, you look awful. Man, we are so sorry for your loss. I don't even know if they said that, actually. I have to reread it again. I don't think they said they were sorry for the loss. They saw him and began weeping. Know that for sure. And because of that, they came there to sympathize. Be careful with these words. Sympathize and comfort him. Nowhere in that part did it say they came to encourage him. And they sympathized and comfort him for 7 days. They were quiet in a room sitting with him for 7 days. Some of y'all are struggling not to talk right now. Can you imagine not talking for 7 days with other people in the room? That's like if y'all came here to see and get a word. Imagine if y'all came here and I was quiet for 7 days. 7 days. That's a whole week of no talking, just sulking and sympathizing. And then after that, that's when Job was like, man, I cursed the day I was born. No one was there to encourage him. They were there to egg him on sympathizing him. And some of y'all got some friends who will come over to your apartment, to your dorm, to sympathize and not encourage. They're like, oh man, that sounds so bad. You right, girl. He's terrible. Or he ugly. Or she ugly. Yes, she can be ugly too, ladies. She's mean. You right, she's terrible. And they sitting there and sympathize with you. Be careful of people who all they do is sympathize with you and don't challenge you. Be careful with them people. Because if you want a real friend, your real friend should be, one, encouraging you, and two, trying to lift you up. Like, hey, I know you hurt and I know a lot going on, man, but you alive, you got breath in your lungs, you still living. There's so much more you can do. Bless God now because he didn't take your life. That's what they could have said to Job. Nope. 7 days. They sat there, Indian style. You hungry? I'm not hungry. You good? I'm good. He still sad? Yep. All right, let's be quiet. 7 days of nonsense. They let their friend sit there and wallow in his own sorrows. Y'all know 7 days is a lot of time to think. It's a lot of time to recall what has happened to you. 7 days is a process, right? And Job could not get over that process because his friends wasn't even trying to help him. And then when he spoke, it was already too late because Job started to say things that did not match up with his character. And some of us have had time to think about some things, go through the process, and the process made us bitter instead of better. The process made us angry because we sat there and stewed on it, just like Job. And no one was there to comfort and encourage us. They were just there to sympathize with us. Yeah, you should be sad. You should be mad. And you'd be like, yeah. Don't get me wrong, there are a time and a place for like, yes, I want you to sympathize with me in this moment. But at the end of the conversation, you're not telling me, okay, let's be better. Let's figure out something to help you. You're not a real friend to me. I hold the word friend really high. And y'all should too. Especially at this age. How old are you? How old are you, Emma Squared? 21? 20? 21? 21? 22? 20? 18? God bless you. But for real, like all of y'all in y'all 20s, that's a very important time for friendship. Not a time to get a bunch of them, a time to consolidate them. High school is when you have a bunch of them. You're like, girl, I'm famous. You don't know me? Room 5, check me out. No, college, you like, hold on. Who are you and what do you do? What major are you in? Do you got a job? Do you got parents? What is going on? Do you bathe? Do you brush your teeth? Do you know Jesus? That's one we don't ask. That's one we get nervous about. You know Jesus? You know the God I'm serving too? You be hyped when you find out, you know Jesus too? That's my dude. Gangsta J. If y'all don't know it yet, I love Gangsta Jesus. He is my favorite. And I just found out about Gangsta God from reading the chapter of Job. Y'all should really read the book of Job. Gangsta God comes out in chapter 38, and I lost it. I said, this cat is dope. He just came on Job's head. I appreciate that. Come on. But for real, I keep stepping on this joint. For real, friendship should be important because friendships are the people who are going to help you through the what? Process. If you don't got good friends, your process is going to be long. Your process is going to be long. And it's going to be hard because all they're going to do is sympathize with you. They're never going to encourage you. There is a difference between sympathize and encourage because encourage, there should be an action step. Sympathize is like, yes, you're right. Everybody right when they sad. Because you just want everybody to tell you, you're right, you're right. And most of the time, we wrong. We usually wrong on our feelings. I'm mad at that person because they said something to me. Well, what they say? They ain't like my shoes. You'd be like, well, what's wrong with your shoes? I cleaned them. What is that? Did they know that? They offended me. That's my favorite. I offend a bunch of people, and I'm A-okay with it. I offend people with, what do I offend people with? Probably my personality. Like, I'm very outgoing. I am very, I don't sugarcoat. I'm not really good at it. Y'all know what sugarcoat means? Sprinkle a little bit of sweetness over the truth to make it sweeter to eat. That's not my style. I will give you the salt, and you will choose to eat it. Yeah, y'all got enough people who sugarcoat everything to y'all. I'm not going to sugarcoat the word of God. This is not the sugarcoat thing. This is the thing to be taken as it is. I can't stand when people sugarcoat the word of God, because I go home and then when life isn't sweet to me, I'm wondering what happened. I'm like, but the word of God is, no. You gave me sugar, so I'm expecting sugar back. I'm expecting a very sugarful process, and the process ain't sweet. Process is terrible. It's hard, but it's worth it. The process is very worth it. Imagine if a caterpillar never became a butterfly. It would just be this weird, odd creature stuck in the middle. We would not even know what a butterfly is if they did not come out of the cocoon. And there are people trying to figure out, who are you, but you won't come out the cocoon. You just warm and nestled in the cocoon, and people trying to get to know you, but you like, oh, I'm just really reserved. I have a wall up. No, you don't. You just don't want to get out of your process of being a better person. You don't want people to know that you laugh, that you giggle. I'm gonna give you a prime example. She's gonna be mad at me. This one, she tried to not let people know who she really was. I know you. So like, when I first met her, she was going through a process. When I first met her, when I first got on the team, she was going through a process. She was trying to, like, figure out if she actually wanted to be on the worship team or if she didn't. She was trying to figure out if she liked me, too, because I don't think she liked me at first. She still might not like me. She definitely didn't like me back then. She's like, he's new. I don't know you. You don't even go here. Who are you? You trying to change everything? I was. I didn't like the way the team was constructed at that time because it wasn't a team. So through that time period, she got on my nerve. She did. Because I'm like, who are you? Are you really like this? Is this a fake version of you? Which one are you? I just did one of them new moves. Y'all see that? I worked very hard on that move. But no, for real, like, I had to figure her out. But I didn't realize that she was going through a process of figuring herself out. Where does she fit in on this new team? Is she going to be able to sing? Because at that time, some of the singers, we were just kind of going with the flow singing. It wasn't like actual singing. I don't know how to explain this. So like, it was more of just singing together in one voice instead of harmonizing. Totally different. Harmonizing is hard, especially if you can't sing. If you can't sing, harmonizing is not your thing. Join the choir, get you a part, and call it a day. Don't join the choir, yeah, because you can't sing. But anyway, she was trying to figure out her spot. She was going through a process. She was in her cocoon, and I was trying to get to know her. She did not come out of her cocoon till several years later. And guess what? That's okay. Because if I'm a real leader and a real friend, I should wait till people develop. I should be okay with development. I should egg it on. Yes, please go through your process so you can become the person you're supposed to be. I work with all my vocalists the same way. Different approach, same way. If you can kind of sing, and she know I ain't lying, if you can kind of sing, I can work with you. Because usually the people who can kind of sing can actually sing. They just nervous to do it because someone told them that they couldn't. Someone told them that they couldn't. Oh, you're not very good, because they don't sound like the people like Elevation Worship, all that stuff. They usually tell them, yeah, you don't sound that good. You should like kind of, do something else. No. If you're a good leader and you believe in your leadership skills, you should be able to develop people. They already brought their gift to you. They're looking for you to elevate it. Now, homegirl is one of my best singers on my team. Best singers. I will brag on Alyssa any day because homegirl can blow. She can bring heaven down. But if I did not allow her to go through the process, if I did not help her through the process, and also help her get out of the cocoon, because some people start the process and never come out the cocoon. Some of y'all know some people who are still in the cocoon. I have a wall. I don't really want people to know the real me. We want to know the real you. The Lord wants you to let people know the real you. That's why he created you. He didn't create you to just live in a cocoon. He created you to stand out. He created you to be different. That's why y'all don't fit in some places, because you were born to be different. The Bible says that I set you apart. There's let you already know that you won't fit in with a lot of people. And that's okay. You are specially made. Why do you think you can spot knockoffs? Y'all know how y'all get y'all fake Gucci shoes or whatever it is? I got a fake Gucci something right now, and I will play it off. But I have to cover up a certain part of it so you don't know that it's actually fake. But I can play it off. But if I put it next to some other Gucci things, real stuff, you can tell it's counterfeit. I don't want nobody in here to be counterfeit. Don't be counterfeit. Be yourself. Be authentically you. But in order to be authentically you, you have to go through the what? Process. This is my favorite part of it. This is my favorite word. So we use our anger and pain as our fuel instead of our future in which God created. And when we were reading the scripture, it said, before I'm doing a new thing, it springs up. Can you perceive it? Perceive, can you see? That's why he asked, can you perceive it? A new thing I'm doing. You can't see what you won't look for. Write that down. You can't see what you won't look for. What do I mean by that? Some of us can't get over our past because we won't seek our future. We scared of the future because the future is usually unknown. You're like, I don't even want to know what it is. Any of y'all like kind of studied for a test? You took it, and you're like, I don't know if I want to see what the result is, because it might not be what I want it to be. But it ended up being fine. You got a B. You didn't get an A. You got a B. Or you got a C. C's get degrees. I'm just saying. C's still got degrees. I got 2 degrees, and I had a few C's. Hallelujah. But yeah. We can't see what we will not look for. The Lord is trying to do something new in you through a process. He's trying to do something new in you. But if you're not looking for it, if you're not looking for something new, you're not going to have it. If you can't perceive it, you will never get it. God is saying in his word that he is doing a new thing, but you can't see it because you can't stop thinking about the former things. It said back, forget on the former things. Forget the former things. Because I am doing what? A new thing. How do I see the new thing? I got to forget. I have to get over the past thing. If I want to see what peace looks like, I got to forget about this other stuff. Because some of us is holding on to something that could really help us get to peacefulness. I am real. How many of y'all love being at peace? Oh, y'all don't like being at peace? No. You love it. How come you don't protect it? How come you don't protect your peace? What you mean protect it? I don't put myself in situations where I know my peace is going to be disrupted. Excuse me. Key point. when I'm writing a sermon, I don't leave my office door open. I shut the door. Because if I'm interrupted, that's disturbing my what? Peace. And then I get unfocused. Or if I get too many interruptions, I go somewhere else. Because the word is so important to me that I have to have absolute peace and concentration. But if that peace is compromised, I have to go somewhere. Because my peace is this. Write this down. My peace is expensive. My peace is expensive. Why is it expensive? Because I protect it. All of y'all have bought a purse or a pair of shoes that are a little bit expensive that you made a sacrifice for. And if someone was so happen to step on those or scuff your purse or anything like that, you be like, hold on, brother. This is, what's an expensive purse? This Coach. Is that expensive? No. This is Michael Kors. Maybe, no, that's at Burlington's. What's this? This is Louis Vuitton. Brother, you got to hold on. They're like, oh, can I hold your bag? And you be like nervous. You're like, oh, yeah, take a look. Can I touch it, y'all? Take a look. Don't touch it with your little greasy hands. Yeah, y'all protect your expensive stuff. Shoes, I love shoes. If y'all don't notice, I love shoes. Check my Instagram out. I love shoes. Check my feet out right now. I love shoes. And they expensive. And if anybody step on my shoes, I'm going to try not to fight you. No, I'm joking. No, but seriously, I protect my shoes. I spray them. They got a little wear and tear on them right now. But these shoes are like 4 years old. And y'all seen some 4-year-old shoes. These shoes 4 years old. These jokers is clean. They look like they fresh out of the box, don't they? Because I protect them. I spray them. I put some rainproof on them. Because I don't want anybody to damage something that I sacrificed to buy. I don't want anybody to damage something that I had to go on my knees and pray for. Because one time in my life, I wasn't peaceful. But now that I have peace and I know how to take care of it, I'm going to protect it. My peace is expensive. Absolutely. Because once my peace is disturbed, my entire focus is destroyed. Like once I'm not peaceful, I'm able to just be irritated. Anybody ever been irritated? And you don't know how to get out of being unirritated. You're like, I'm irritated. They made me mad. I'm so irritated with them. So now your irritation turns into a person and not a feeling. I'm irritated with you, not irritated with what you said to me. I'm irritated with you as a person. Your whole demeanor irritate me. Not what you said, because I turned the feeling into a person. I gave it a face. And that's what you have to be careful of. Don't give a feeling a face. Don't do it. Because you'll start to associate that feeling with that person. And that person was probably just having just as a bad day as you was. And they had a moment. But now, since you link that feeling with them, you don't want to be bothered with them. Because they're going to vex your peace. They're going to mess your peace up. When the reality is, they just said something off. Because they'll see you again. They'll be perfectly fine. You ever wonder why people are like perfectly fine after they like made you mad the other day? Or you just going to act like ain't nothing happened? Yeah. Because I had a feeling. I just was upset that day. But your peace should be expensive. Because there's a process to get to peacefulness. And everything that you gain after going through a process, you should honor that. You should honor that. Just like you honor getting an A on something, you had to study through that, right? You had to go through that process of opening up that book, looking over those chapter notes, and writing down notes. You honor that A. You like, hold on. I got an A, brother. Somebody say good job or something. That's how you feel. Should be the same way about your peace. I can't let this disturb my peace. Because I cried. I took some nights where I cried for this peace. I have done so much to be peaceful, I can't let nobody ruin it. I can't let nobody ruin it, including myself. I can't let me ruin it. Because you can ruin your own peace as well. With thoughts, with feelings, because of surrounding things, your peace should be so expensive that you can't even mess it up. All right, I feel like my peace is about to get disrupted. Let me chill out. Let me calm down. Because if I get out of whack, I'm going to be messed up. My peace is expensive. I cried for this peace. I went on my knees to pray and ask God, God, give me peace because everything around me is causing turmoil. God, I need peace. And he gave it to you. Oh, you're going to treat that thing good. Confidence, treat confidence that way. God, I went through so many years of being insecure. I'm not going to let nobody tell me that I'm not a great person. I'm not going to let myself ruin it. I'm not going to get up in the mirror and be afraid of the mirror. No, the mirror going to be afraid of me. I know who I am. I'm a child of God. God made me and formed me to be special. So therefore, I'm not going to let nobody and anybody mess up how I feel about me because I sacrificed to be what? Confident. I went through a process. Treat your peace, treat your confidence, treat anything you gain after you have gotten it through a process, treat it as it is expensive. Amen? So listen, I want to wrap up with this. How do you get over the process? How do you truly get over a process? Invite Jesus. Imagine if I would have invited Jesus into this process when I was stuck in the middle. Because when I got to the middle, what was I doing? I was talking to myself the whole time. I wasn't talking to Jesus. I was talking to myself. Remember that? I was like, oh, well, I really care about that person even though I'm supposed to be letting them go. And I could kind of get over him, but I really care about, I was saying me, 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 me. I didn't say, Lord, I'm having some thoughts about going back to so-and-so. Please guide me through this process. I don't know where you are, and I don't know what's going on, but Lord, I just really want to be free from that person. And by the time you get done lifting up your eyes, he's been walking you through the process the entire time. You're just praying. You're like, Lord, God, I don't want to be afraid anymore. I don't want to get up in the morning and be afraid of the day. God, be the lamp unto my feet and help me see myself the way you see me. In Jesus' name, amen. And by the time you know it, you out of the process. When you invite Jesus into whatever you're going through, he's going to work on your behalf. He's going to shake up heaven on your behalf. He's going to pour you out a blessing on your behalf. But you have to invite him. You have to allow him to be there. Cody, you want to come up? And Antoine, you want to come up? There's a song called Holy Spirit, You Are Welcome Here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our heart longs for. To be overcome by your presence. And that's what happens when you invite him in. He is going to show up. When you invite the Lord in, when you invite his Holy Spirit in, his comforter, that's what the Holy Spirit is. He's a comforter. When you invite the comforter in, he's going to comfort you, but he's also going to encourage you. He's also going to challenge you. He's going to hear you, but he's going to give you action steps on how to get what you asked him for. If you're asking him, God, I want to be free from myself, from my own mind. Because every time I try to think about something, it goes into a negative direction. God, show me how I can do it. Come with me, Holy Spirit. And he'll come. He'll be like, hey, it's all going to work out for your good if you believe. If you believe. Do you believe that I'm the Son of Man? Do you believe that I died and rose from the grave in 3 days? Do you believe that I died for your sins? Do you believe? And if you believe, awesome. Now that you believe, do you trust that I will do what you ask of me? You know, a lot of people go through the process of salvation, believing in God, but they rarely find themselves trusting God because life is rough. Storms come. And in those storms, people waver. And I've been posting stuff about there's significance in the storm. There's significance in the storm. The storm, the process, there's significance in it. You just have to make sure that you are strong enough to get to the other side. Storms, some of us have driven through rainstorms, heavy rainstorms, and because we could not handle the way the water was coming in, like we pull off to the side, thinking that it puts us in safety. But if you're on the highway and it's raining, you pulling off to the side, you're not in safety, you're in more danger. Because somebody else can slide and hit you. Somebody else can be like, well, I'm pulling to the side too, and they hit you. Because you're stopped. You stopped. But if you just press on, slow down, driving through that storm, what's slowing down mean? Spending time with God. Lord, I'm slowing down the speed of this process because I can't see what's going on. It just seems like everything's hitting my windshield. I can't see clearly. Lord, let me slow down and seek you. Spend time with the Lord. Don't just spend time with him when you need something. Don't treat the Lord like a piggy bank. Treat him like a savior. Treat him like a friend. Lord, I'm just spending time with you because I want to spend time with you. I enjoy your company. But especially when you get to those moments where he's putting you through a process, be with him. Spend that time with him. Invite him. Because once you invite him, he's going to help you through it. Amen?